I've been talking about lead in water birds for 36 years now, and still I don't think anyone understands how bad it really is. The people that use lead, whether it be for shooting or fishing or whatever, need to come in and have a look at swans dying from lead poisoning, and I'm not looking at numbers and just rows of numbers, I'm looking at bodies. And that's where the difference is. The birds are taking lead in because they're searching for grit to enable their digestive system to work properly. And of course, general sizes of lead are just about right, like small pieces of grit. So they take it in. But of course, lead being very soft, it gets ground down and is then in the bloodstream. And so you've got a lead poisoned bird before anything else. He's in real trouble then. Percentage of swans that we have brought in to us via various routes or we pick up is roughly about 70% that have lead poisoning of one sort. Typical symptoms would be they have a very vacant look about their eyes. They forget to eat and drink. In other words, they have taken in food which is built up, and eventually they've got a neck full of rotten food, and whatever they eat then doesn't go anywhere. Wings are floppy, flaccid, necks back, generally dirty and dishevelled. We take a blood sample, usually from a vein under a wing, because it's easier that way. This blood sample is then packed up and sent off to the veterinary investigation place at Shrewsbury, who then fax me back the results of it so that we know exactly what we're talking about. It can come as low as 0.25 parts per million. The highest one we've ever had was 127, I believe. But normally it's usually, with the younger birds, they obviously didn't have as much as that. They have lesser amounts. But it can be 7 point whatever, 8 point whatever, 14, all sorts of levels. Lead's a terrible, terrible issue for all water birds. From wherever it comes, it really is a big problem. They can't survive with it, and I suspect that half the swan population comes in for care at least once a year. Their immune system is shot. They don't have any immunity to other things that other swans might be bringing into them. So we do have to give them antibiotics on a daily basis, which makes the whole process a lot more expensive. And then, of course, once we've got the lead out of the bloodstream, we then have to start giving them yet another treatment to get it out of their liver, kidneys and bones. The actual treatment that we have to give them is hard enough on them, as well as the lead poisoning. So 2 or 3 goes and that's probably it. It's not possible to save them all with lead poisoning. It depends on the state of the bird when it comes in and whether it's going to make a recovery that's good enough to enable it to go back out into the big wide world again. So no, we can't save everything, but we do have a good shot and always give them a good chance.